Boom shakalaka, it's the gal them sugar, Terrell, and I'm here with Patrice, and today we are going to make a sublimation hoodie to keep your sugar warm.
You are not going to be doing the intros anymore because I don't even know what that was. So, hey y'all, welcome to Craftabilities. I'm Patrice, and today we are going to be making this hoodie. We're going to be sublimating onto this hoodie. This is 100% polyester. So despite Terrell thinking that people in cold weather states only wear hoodies, y'all,
I'm technically in a hoodie at all times.
exactly. And my students wear hoodies when it's 115 degrees outside. So this hoodie is going to be perfect for anyone. So today we are going to be subbing onto this hoodie a design, and we're going to actually probably just give it away to somebody, a fellow teacher.
I'm going to add this, guys, before we get into it. If you're going to comment and ask, where do we get this hoodie from? I do not recommend it. It's poor quality.
We got this hoodie from Alibaba. It actually feels good, but the problem is that it's not true to size. And this is a medium, but it's almost like a small, really. That's what I think. It feels good. Like, it doesn't feel bad, but it's just not true to size. Like, we had somebody try on like 4 different sizes, and each size fit the same way on them. But if you are going to be subbing a hoodie, they have polyester hoodies online. You can get it from Amazon. They also have some on Jiffy Shirts. The polyester hoodies do cost a little bit more than the cotton hoodies, but you can definitely use them for sublimation. So again, this is 100% polyester. That's how we're going to be able to sub on top of it what we're doing. Let's get started.
Let's head over to Creative Fabrica to find an image for us to sublimate. So if you don't know about Creative Fabrica, it's a website with loads of images. You can use it for sublimation, DTF, the Cricut, all sorts of stuff. Glowforge if you have one. They have free graphics if you need to look over there and you don't want to pay for it. Or you can go ahead and purchase through their deals or get a yearly subscription. And the yearly subscription gives you access to everything on their website for one price. So all we're going to do is go ahead and scroll through. When we find an image we like, go ahead and download it, print it, and then we are ready to sublimate. As before we start printing, we got this sublimation printer, and I also have just some regular printer paper. I've been seeing people online saying that you can just use printer paper.
You can.
I haven't tried it yet. Maybe I'll do a short with it. Patrice says you can't.
You can.
So why do I waste money on this?
Why don't you do a comparison video? How about we do a comparison video showing sublimation and regular printer paper? And why would you make all that noise and we're recording?
Okay, we're going to do a comparison video.
Oh my goodness. All right. So, of course, we're going to just load our printer with the sublimation paper. I thought Terrell was going to do that, but clearly he doesn't take anything serious. So I have to be the serious one. All right. And now I'm just printing this out. I'm printing the image that we chose using Adobe Illustrator. And we're just printing an image out so that we could give this shirt to a teacher. You always want to make sure when you're printing your design, you always want to make sure that you mirror it. And we do have other videos showing this process in detail. And today for media type, I'm using plain paper bright white. We're going to change the quality to quality, and I'm going to mirror the image. I'm going to click OK. And then color options, I'm going to adjust the mode to Adobe RGB, and we're going to leave it at a 2.2 gamma. Alright guys, so today we're going to be using the HTVRONT to press our hoodie. And one important thing that you want to make sure is that you know the time and temp for your item. Unfortunately, Terrell doesn't know the time and temp.
400
When I asked him to
degrees,
set up the
60
heat,
seconds.
when I asked him to set up the heat press so that we could do it, what do you guys think Terrell did?
I turned the thing on.
He only turned it on. He did not check the time and the temp, because if he had, he would know that this is not going to press at 325 degrees Fahrenheit.
Calm yourself down. You'll be all right.
So now, guys, we have to wait for it to heat up. But while we're waiting, don't worry. I'm actually going to be pressing this today at 385 degrees. And we're going to press this for 45 seconds. So we still have to wait for this to heat up. I am going to go ahead and lint roll our hoodie, which is very important. When lint is onto your shirts or hoodies or whatever it is that you're pressing, and you press it at such high temperature, that temperature will cause the lint to turn a blue color. And so you will have like blue specks all over your shirt or hoodie, and trust me, you don't want that. So I am pulling this out here.
So I'm thinking about, I'm going to do a hoodie that says, don't pray for an easy life. Pray for the strength to make it through a hard life.
Okay. I like that. Look at you.
And I'm going to have a picture of me on there.
No, no pictures of you. Leave the pictures of you off. We also need butcher paper. Terrell, where's the butcher paper? You moved things around.
Can't you just press it down right now?
Well, I can press it, but honestly, sometimes, especially when I'm dealing with like white shirts or hoodies, I'm going to go ahead and press it. We're just going to pre-press it. But when you're dealing with white shirts, you never know really what's on the top of your heat press. And even though I'm using Teflon here, you just never know sometimes. And I don't really like to, you know, press it without something covering it.
Where is our butcher paper? There's no way that could have finished.
It didn't. So this only takes a few seconds. It might be in the podcast room, maybe. All right. But luckily, there's nothing on here. But with this particular heat press, you gotta kind of be a little bit careful because it doesn't pull all the way out. So you don't want to mess anything up. So it's warming up. Terrell's looking for the butcher paper. And is that the butcher paper? No, that looks like vinyl. So I am going to cut around the edges of our transfer, because sometimes with sublimation, the ink can get caught on your edges. And when you get ready to press, you'll have a nice thin border of ink around the actual image, and you don't want that. And you also want to go through and make sure that you don't have any roller marks on your print as well, because those roller marks will transfer onto your shirt or hoodie or whatever it is that you're pressing. So I'm just cutting around here. All right, guys. So I cut around the edge, and we're going to place this on top of our shirt. So an issue that I've had with sublimation is not really an issue as far as it being any particular fault, but really it was just my fault. I would sometimes place the image upside down, and you don't want to do that. So you always want to make sure that it's right side up. I always like to make sure that I'm looking at it, and with this paper, I can see the image on the other side. We didn't mention it. I'm using sublimation paper, and I ordered these lint rollers off of Amazon. I love them. They're really big. They last quite a bit. So I really love those this lint roller. I'm also using the pocket to make sure that it's straight. All right, guys. So I brought you a little bit closer because Terrell is still learning how to use the camera. And so we have it nice and centered where we want it to be. I need some heat tape. So you want to make sure you have heat tape. Regular tape does not work.
So guys, I can speak about this. I used regular tape, and then it burned onto the top of my my heat press, and then I had to come with a spatula and spatula it off. It really happened.
Why would you use?
I don't know what I was doing. I wasn't paying attention.
Amateur.
I wasn't paying attention.
All right, guys, so we have it on there. Now we're going to place a piece of butcher paper on top. You never want to use a Teflon sheet on top because your ink will transfer through depending on the paper. Sublimation paper has come a long way now. There's tons of sublimation papers that won't seep through the back. However, there's still some that do. And so this particular brand paper, usually it will come through. But you don't want to use a Teflon sheet on top because it will go onto your Teflon sheet. That's why I'm making sure that I put butcher paper. Okay. And so now we're going to press this at 385 degrees for 45 seconds. This heat press is an auto press, but I don't have the auto press function selected here. So that's why I have to manually press the button in order for it to come down. Usually if the auto press function is activated, once I push it all the way in, the top plate will automatically go down. Okay, guys, so we're all done, and I am just going to bring this out, move the butcher paper, and I actually don't see any. Yep, I do see the ink. You guys probably can't see it, but there is ink on the butcher paper. And so this is what I usually do. Now, sometimes depending on the situation, also with this particular heat press, you can't always guarantee the pressure of the heat press. So before I actually just rip it off, I'll usually kind of look underneath just to see, to make sure that we have a nice transfer. Okay, because if not, I can go ahead, put another piece of butcher paper, not the same butcher paper, but another piece of butcher paper. I can go ahead and put another piece of butcher paper on top and slide it back in and press it for a little bit longer. So I do like that. That's why I do recommend using the heat tape around, like put enough heat tape so that if you need to peep under, it's not going to throw it off and then you won't have it aligned anymore. Okay. So let's see. Everything actually looks pretty good. We still have a lot of ink still left over on here. I like when it's like really faded. But nonetheless, I think it came out pretty good. What do you think, Terrell?
I think it came out amazing.
Oh, that's nice of you. All right, so we're all done with our hoodie. And we're actually going to gift this hoodie to another teacher. It actually looks pretty good. Really like it.
Sounds good. Thank you for watching.
Later, y'all.